So everybody, it's Amon here. Welcome to Nerd Case Tier List. Doing the tier list, I was going to go ahead and do it's kind of a mixed case conversation. Now y'all know, even know in the same sense, I have not been able to full push out and try to go and record it because simply put, my recording keeps getting disrupted and just configured in the form of run and sound. But in this case, I'll be able to shed more since my opinion strongly about the format matter involving boxing and different saying stuff. As people have made boxing tier lists, some of them I feel like not informed disingenuous, but either wrong, not the most accurate, not having the most strong purpose of putting this person to this, and someone like Foxy G, who I do like, but in accounting for his case of tier list doesn't actually represent strong form reckon of what people can do. They're either sticking them up because of height of this, a little stitch of that, or just blatantly kind of meat right. Like you put someone in S tier does not showcase anything better than just being good in regards to just boxing, but not actually pair with other case of different people that she is in and not being realistic. So in this, I'm trying to have it be in the case of being who will win most of the time, who's better in the propulsion skill, who's contingent, who's things more and more better than the other in different regard, and who could do this and that in the bigger grand of different form fights. And so in this sense, since we're talking about what they can do, stand of this, and most of the time in a 6 to 10 round boxing match, most of the time in stand, like in the same sense for how, which hope you guys like this new camera setup for my phone, my case stand, and the pitch of skill and other things in the sense of the fighting, like how Crisis did with the case of the Rocky versus antagonist and Pit for Pit. So starting at the bottom, you have should retire. A lot of people they're not good question mark because I don't know any of these people or even seen a little bit of some of them. I don't know how they stand. We have Stinker, not the best, almost roundabout fighting, but maybe hold like a win or have some considerable bout where they do show some skill but isn't the best in the grand scheme, or simply put are just not the best stance fighters. With this being said, straight up, then we have decent, the reasonable run of just good fighters that can maybe stand good in the different counts, but not really strikingly, overarchingly different, and don't really put the same sense of grade A fighting and actually multi-run of actually being warriors, like in the sense of this tier here of warriors. Now this said decent, but I feel like decent is more representative of the Met to like, stand strong this different case, but not super more. And the warriors is in a multi-count of like, actually standing strong against different case of people that have even skill or something, people that actually have a record of being dope and actually strong within the case of their fighting, showcase great skill, actually got professional bouts under their belt, and actually hold a record of, okay, I maybe not the same sense something else as in the same sense of other people that go over but are strong in their own right? And then contingent within a multi-list million people, because a great deal of these people is contingent, except for the upper 3 to 4 that you see here, which I'm going to get into. I'm going to deep dive, break this down. And then the Saints is almost there is a 3 like high-end banger at what they do, strong form goats, stand at the top. Them are the best form YouTube boxes, especially in the sense of the 2 goats here. And in slash, in the case of just God, to stand beyond the rest and the stand of like boxing skill. So yeah, time to go ahead and run it up from the bottom to the top. Understand? I'm gonna go more into it and quickly take in all the sense of why these people can do what they can do. Some of these different runs of fights. Let me get your camera here. Hopefully that's good. Good angle. All right, set charger. Okay. All right, still, hope you guys having a great day. Strong too late. So I need to say here. Anyway, within the point of why these people are and should retire, Ben Askren is the worst striker. As a wrestler, is not strong in the sense of his quick, sharp capabilities in boxing, and it's just like some more like at a left field nigga. Then you got this dude who has been said to be a scammer and is not strong in his skills at all. Is some random jobber. Is shit. Joe Weller's only had 1 to 2 fights. He lost to KSI, got slapped, strifed, got bodied by Jake Paul, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is after he fought Deji, who he barely beat. And that Deji hold the best senses of dog mentality besides the Deji that would come back with a comeback after fighting Fuzi, fighting Swarms, and at the same time fighting for Mayweather, which, he gave him a black eye, did a great deal, but he didn't stand better than other case of what he was showing, because it's the same thing as why with somebody that was just there for the paycheck, moving around, seeing how he could do. So he's more like testing people. He's at the final boss, but it's a twirling motherfucker. It's like how when I sort of fought August, and August wasn't full running it up with him. He fought him decently in the stand of like comparison, pound for pound, man for man, form, stance, sense of fighting was more about case of seeing how you could run it up with a person that's on higher sense of skill, but not full over. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much just in comparison what he has done, and also Joe Weller is just showing that he's shit trying to fight KSI in a car park. Say what you want about a case of that beat, but that man Joe Weller is not skilled. And KSI might make Joe different sayings, but he has a problem with Joe. And Joe trying to go fight him in a car park, get in legal trouble. And regardless of what happened the first time, I've never seen any strong proof that he's beaten him in the car park, even though there's an encounter case. I did say that he did, even if that's the case, he couldn't rumble with him in the same sense of a boxing match or outside in a street fight. There is no protection just with the gloves. No, it's simple. You cannot fight, you would not beat him, and you would get shrugged off and slapped in the mix of it, okay? Man, shit, he lost to Jake, looked like a fool, looked like a dummy, got bodied, okay? His argument maybe could be Bryce Hall, but no. Bryce Hall is shit. He's been in over multiple different street fights. Shit took him also down when he tried to go and grapple. This man, Austin McBroom, he is shit. He is bad. Ryan Taylor barely even fights. He just fucking leans in and moves his body weight to punch. He cannot actually proudly punch. He cannot actually fight. He's a bitch at full. Whole ass fake tough guy. Man lost in a 1v1 fight against AJ, which was shown in the case of the press conference with him and Slib Bahar, the G himself. He got slapped. Then iDubbbz, the cuck himself. You should stop fighting in general. Like, you are just not good. Respectfully, you lost twice in front of your girl. You do not stand good in the same sense of skill. Paw for paw, ball for ball. Okay, so no. And again, from the fight with for Mayweather with Deji in comparison, for my analogies, is in the main sense of fight is strictly in the strong suitedness of one or the other and what they could capitalize on from a potential thing. And that's pretty much some of these fights are going to be about who overall can win, especially considering these are points and just knocking out and best of best. These are strictly boxing matches. But I strongly agree that this man iDubbbz cannot do that much and probably maybe beat these other people because of better strong suit skill. But Fuzi contingent, because Fuzi doesn't do shit. He's always lost and is not strong. His capabilities to fight, and just no, I don't believe that. So no. The question mark, obviously, don't know any of these people. We're seeing a little bit, don't do that much. Stinker, this dude does not do the best. He got swapped. DDG is not good in his skill. Raka Raka is a mad lad, but does good easily, you know what I'm saying, against somebody that isn't the best in the same sense of scarce, who, did it mainly for the weight training and experience, you know what I'm saying? Lost a lot of weight, looking fit, looking sharp, you know what I'm saying? In the same sense of at least his mind sense in the place of capacity of trying to put in some work in the form of the fight. He don't look like a bitch. Raka Raka being a mad lad, stands good even, but he hasn't had another fight. Maybe in the case of him getting another capture at the gloves, he could maybe peak some different sense of stuff, maybe, but he only went in there for the bag and experience and never really picked anything different. Again, like I said, to reiterate, maybe in an air capture and taking of the gloves in the same sense of sticking to a different margin of different people that are more his own. They're not the best, but maybe he could hold up against in the grand scheme. Maybe it could be good. Para is not good, even technically being a technical quote unquote pro box, but don't really do that much and don't really put up anything better. And this looks like a fool and it's not good. It can maybe best in some states skill, but it's not overarchingly good. Face temper, tall, got the most strongly sharp, and has gotten slapped and got one round KO'd by someone like KSI. He got dominated there in the same sense. He could not do nothing, and it was literally just a 1, 2 to 3 check bop. He got kinetically checked, and then a sharp strike on the right with it, or like a bounce pound. So he just got jacked of his life and couldn't really stand against him. And then Slim was piecing him up a great deal. So I just don't think he stands good in comparison. Then we have Finney, who was literally just here for the paycheck, beat a case of Deji that was not good. And it's like Gib getting beat by Jake in a different case, which is still strong, but didn't really hold out as much as Harrison. and isn't the best form fighter for all around we've shown. I mean, he's in good shape, strong, would not fight Deji again because he knows dead ass that he would just lose and deliberately and just came there for the bag, was respectful and did not care about all that intercase stuff. So he just blatantly lost. It's simple. Then this dude says a little bit good in the case of skill from what I've seen, whatever point him and his contention. He says a little bit good. Taylor Holder, overhyped, overrated ass nigga, got pieced up by Gibb, got shocked multiple times by the same power that Gibb was rolling up on him with, and stands considerably in some state of skill and maybe has some considerable greater form skill that maybe has not been shown, such unlocked. But this man is 0-1, has been kind of be trained and been sparring with multiple cases of people, Ryan Garcia, Jake, trained by Canelo, all this bullshit, and then you showcase anything super. So that's the only reason why he's up and decent. Okay. Alex Asabi can maybe be over, but he faced a Deji that was gas and not the best shown. He didn't really stick to that better related different stuff and didn't really stand as great and overarching skill and simply just beat somebody that was in the best capacity of sense or in a place of actually beating. So no. Then next we have this dude that trained Brandon Buckingham, but Brandon Buckingham will fucking violate that man Sneeko. But still great in the sense of the skill, and in comparison with Brandon has a great deal of battle IQ, so might be able to bring some pain to a bunch of these young people in the long last, but all around as the form of he puts a great deal of work on these people. It's really going to depend. And sorry, because it has something stuck in my throat. Pause. I'm saying overall, again, it's just a long as and all around. It's a fight pit for pit, ball for ball. But maybe they might be able to get around him, catch him off guard, get points, things like that. It's a very mixed thing. I feel like Austin would beat him. Austin only had 3 fights, lost twice to Gibb, and only beat this man, Bryce Hall, who is not a fighter. You know, he claimed to be a fighter multiple different times. So it is what it is. But I would just stick him up there. Then this dude, he's a very mixed dude. This dude was like heavy as hell. Like he's down there 300 pounds and bested this man seemed. And just because of his weight, it's empowered his power, might be able to beat damn near everyone and be up here just because of his ridiculous weight. But if we put him at the most even weight with these people, that's where he might be a little bit mixed to be in stand. But that's the only reason. But I think he could get overshined just to say his better skill and better showcasing against others. Soon really up there. I think he could best a great deal of people. Then Anthony Joshua, this is his man's name, the man that was talking about your shit and just be spouting mad, has shown a great credit of being able to have skill, but don't really stand that great, and has gotten slapped and bested, and is not the best, and is just kind of like a bitch, if we're being honest, as a person. But besides that, even if he trains super hard and these different things, I strongly agree that, yeah, he stands greater than a bunch of these same people, but don't really stand that great because all around, from a better case of different people, he's gotten overshined multiple times. Then we got Face Sensei, cool dude, respectable fighter, stand strong against others in the sand of this skill and other stuff. And all these different people are contingents. There's going to be one by one and run and what they do that could overshine maybe the other in different stand. He has great skills, good at his game, but isn't that strong as other cases, the pit for pit case of skill. This man Blueface is good. If you keep himself out of controversy and stay out of the fucking buffoonery outside of the ring, he could actually showcase what he can do in the spotlight. He's only have one prime showcasing of his stuff and what he could do, and maybe he could be in a peakness, but it really depends. Jarvis has potential to do good, especially fighting Anderson Gibb, which is going to be a very interesting fight. Can't wait to see it. Am I going to go and buy the tickets? Wish I could go and see it in real life. But then we have King Kenny, who's dope. Big Shaq West, big clock shit, getting motherfuckers within the same fist rope and mix up. Then you have Slim Abahar, who is strong in the same fist stuff. The reciprocate that people might be overhyping him, saying he could beat KSI, which I do not think, but he's strong and dope in the sense of what he does. He can really slap a motherfucker up and is strong in the sense of how he does things. Then you have Big Gibber, big nigga. My man himself, the big dunk truck case instance of power, who been smoking motherfuckers. I don't think he overrated, overhyped. He has a great deal of potential and could possibly stand against greater case people, but is strong in his own right. Salt Poppy is contingent with like these three, but I definitely think he would like be overriding with too much better saying skill than everybody else and lost to somebody, a greater case, which, yeah, this man had better form experience. The first person going to beat him, which, we could say he could be up here. But the reason why I don't really think that's a big case, a better argument is that this is a eventual case change within this stuff and not the best overarching showcase and does not define the stand of his full case skill and does not put him off. Now I'm going to go ahead and run through this in the best sense. I know you guys will say why I saw Puppy up here in the judgment, but simple case is that this is the best peak form of Saul Poppy and the possible rematch. This is why I think it would be better. So if Anthony Joshua shows a lot more than the contingent run of people that I believe that could beat him, that's where I would put it different. And at the end of the day, he won mainly based on points and full Paul for Paul going full. I believe Saul Poppy could knock him out. That's me personally. But then Logan Paul, most popular loser, has a great deal of skill, not the best. Tyron Woodley, obviously better MMA fighter, striker, has a junior pro box. Anderson Silva, old but still got hands. Deji has shown great progress, invested. KSI is the nightmare, done a great deal. Jake is over him.